welcome to the AmErica show. I am your host, Erica.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Love you.
Today we stand at a remarkable moment in history. 250 years ago, a group of visionaries dared to imagine a nation built on liberty, equality, and the unshakable belief that people could govern themselves. This anniversary is not only a celebration of the past, it is a reflection of who we are today. A nation of extraordinary diversity, a nation still striving to live up to its founding ideals. Our challenges are real, but so is our capacity to meet them with courage and creativity. What legacy will we leave for those who come after us? Anti-Semitism and Islamophobia in America today are both rising, but they rise in different ways, affect communities differently, and are shaped by overlapping political, media, and social forces. If someone asks me, what is your strength? My answer will be, I know all my weaknesses. If I am a true patriot, I will see what went wrong and how I can fix it. Dealing with truth doesn't mean that a person is a traitor. It means that a person cares for the country. In today's world, there are certain crucial issues which our country is concerned about even after 250 years of independence. Racial discrimination, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia are some real social issues which are to be fixed for a better society. Today's discussion mainly focuses on beautifying and securing American pride, prestige, and dignity. We have three great panelists from the Jewish, Muslim, and Christian communities, and I am your host from the Hindu community. All religions teach and preach peace, unity, harmony, and prosperity. Today, we honor the story of America not as a finished chapter, but as a living, evolving journey. May we continue to shape it with hope, with conviction, and with a shared belief in the power of an united nation. Our goal is to create a social awareness within the community and much beyond. Happy 250th anniversary, America as one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Josh Bender is the assistant rabbi at Temple Israel Center in White Plains, where he has served since 2024. In that role, he frequently attends and organizes events related to racial justice, refugee rights, and interfaith community building. Josh is originally from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and in his spare time enjoys going to stand-up comedy shows and cooking. Dr. Saleem Muhammad Mir is a long-time practicing nephrologist and internal medicine physician based in Croton-on-Hudson. He is widely listed across major medical directories and has been actively accepting new patients. His specialty is in nephrology, which includes kidney disease, dialysis, hypertension, internal medicine like adult primary care, chronic disease management. He has affiliations with the Phelps Hospital, Northwell Health, and Davita Dialysis Centers. He has been the instructor of the medical residents at the Westchester County Medical Center. Clifton Earl Abrams is a commissioner of the Greenburgh Housing Authority and a community activist recognized by the Town of Greenburgh for his services. He is listed as a member of the Board of Commissioners for the Greenburgh Housing Authority, which oversees public housing operations in the town. He is a district leader of Town of Greenburgh, District 46. He is the founder and CEO of Real Talk with Clifton Earl Abrams. Okay, so now it is the question answer time, and the first question will be asked to Josh. How is anti-Semitism connected to the Holocaust, which is the most extreme example of anti-Semitism involving the orchestrated or state-sponsored murder of 6 million Jews?
Yeah, so the Holocaust, of course, was rooted in anti-Semitism. There would be no Holocaust without anti-Semitism. But post-Holocaust, it primarily relates to anti-Semitism in that there's Holocaust denial as an expression of anti-Semitism, or a tendency to equate things with the Holocaust, which many in the Jewish community also feel is a form of anti-Semitism. Yeah.
Okay. Saleem, what are the main types of Islamophobia? How do you structural, individual, and dialectical forms differ?
Well, there are different, as you said, different forms of Islamophobia. Number one is to simple that these Muslims and Islam does not recognize other religions, which is false. Number two is that Islam will bring in the Sharia laws. And if that is what it is, then we don't want to accept it. Sharia laws are nothing but for personal laws that govern the life of a person. It doesn't mean that everybody has to follow that, but if somebody wants to observe that, he's wearing a yarmulke, it's a Jewish tradition. It doesn't hurt me, so I would respect that. So similarly, these kind of things are fostered, unfortunately, some politicians who want to gain favor, and they just say the words which are like, very insulting and derogatory and inflammatory. The media takes up this, and media spreads that thing wide across. So as a result of that, anything, for example, there's a terrorist. He's a terrorist. Terrorism is not Islam, but he is a Muslim. They will put down a Muslim terrorist. There are a Christian terrorist. We have seen that. There's a Buddhist terrorist. There are Hindu terrorists. There are Jewish terrorists. Nobody says their religion is doing that. We have the share of the lunatics. So what can you do? But it doesn't mean that Islam promotes that. It is those people have deviated from the teachings of Islam and done that in their own personal capacity.
Right. Okay, so Clifton, we are the world's largest democracy, but people of colors are often targeted. It's heartbreaking to know about the suffering, pain, agony, and misery of the people of colors, especially the African Americans whose tremendous contributions are often ignored. Our country has witnessed the Civil War, the Great Depression, and some high-profile assassinations. Why is it taking so long to heal up the wounds even after 250 years?
Well, first of all, America is a racist country. That's the main problem, and that and African ascent of Africa, we've been getting the blunt of it because every other nationality came over here on their own free will, and they were able to keep their own culture. When we came, we were stripped of everything that we was about. And then we had to learn everything about what America was. Because as far as I am, America founding fathers, not my founding fathers, you know what I'm saying? But I respect it because I live here. And I think Africans, which is the black race in America, is the most patriotic race out of all the races because after all that happened to us, and we still here, still abiding by all the rules. We ain't looking, for, America should be thanking their God that we want equality and not revenge.
I see. I hear you. So, Josh, how can individuals and communities confront anti-Semitism? What actions schools, workplaces, and individuals can take to challenge hate? Can counseling, psychotherapy, spiritual, and holistic treatments help?
Yes, I think anti-Semitism is often an expression of desperation and of just general unhappiness in one's own life. And in that sense, it looks like a lot of different forms of bigotry. Somebody in their own personal life is unhappy or finds some sort of something missing, and Jews or another group can get constructed in that person's mind to fill that gap. So in that sense, I think that folks seeking mental health care and seeking sort of to improve their own lot in life, I think probably would reduce anti-Semitism. And in addition to that, part of what allows somebody to be anti-Semitic is not actually understanding Jews or Judaism. So actual engagement with Jewish people in the Jewish community, relying upon Jews to explain who Jews are and what Judaism is, rather than getting your information about that from non-Jewish sources. I think all of those things can do a lot to help combat anti-Semitism. And I think in terms of like spiritual, can't speak so much to holistic, but I do a lot of good work with Reverend Williamson from Bethel Baptist and with other pastors in the community. And I think we learn a lot and get a lot of meaning and joy out of being together.
Great. Okay. Saleem, Islam is a peaceful religion and promotes brotherhood, but is often criticized for addressing non-Muslims as kafirs or kufrs. What is the difference between criticism of Islam and Islamophobia? When is it critique legitimate, and when does it become a prejudice?
Number one, the way that you said kafir is not a derogatory word. Kafir is anybody who does not recognize the truth, okay? Has not come to terms with it. And it will take some time. It doesn't mean this is the end of it. It will take some time for him to understand.
So I'm not a kafir?
No, you're not a kafir. We have a hope that you will understand. Look, at the end of the day, each of us have to understand, you're a Hindu, he's a Jew, I'm Muslim, he's a Christian, that all these religions teach one thing, common to all of us, and that is how we deal with one another, how we do keep the justice, and irrespective of the color, the creed, and the race, we have to do justice. But if we want to do justice, we have to promote, if we're asking for it for ourselves, we have to give it to others. So it has to be done in the way that it comes across. Now, your question about whether this kafir term or how we recognize, Muslims do recognize Judaism as a true religion. We, mention of Moses in Quran is 19 times, Muhammad only one time. Okay? So it is Mary. There's a chapter in Quran about Mary. The whole thing, about her and Jesus. So they are recognized as our own respected, people. Abraham, we say words of salute to Abraham at least 17 to 14 times a day,
Wow.
every day in our prayer. We said the blessings of, we ask the blessings of Allah and God for Abraham and his progenies. I mean, look, this is not something that people don't know. That every time we pray or we stand, we have to do that. So in other words, there's a lot of misunderstanding about Islam and how Muslims are. So when we break those barriers and people come to understand it, they will have mutual respect for one another.
I do understand. Okay, Clifton, what is your take on affordable housing?
Well, affordable housing is not affordable. They have rent control. Affordable housing goes on, like they do a certain area, like we Greenburgh. Like say they might have Scarsdale, White Plains, a whole area, then they put a certain amount. It's like people that live in the housing projects in Greenburgh, a one bedroom is $2,600. $22,600. That's market price. So thank God for the 30 HMI. So like the best thing about it, if you ain't making no money, then it's good. But if you making any kind of half decent money, because the more money you make, the more the rent goes up. So that's how they judge your rent. Because each year you have to requalify. So if you get a second job and make more money, you can't save to get out. The whole idea is to try to get out of public housing, but it did make it almost impossible to get out because each year you got to recertify. So if you get a job and get more money, now your rent go up. If you got kids in the house, right, as soon as they graduate from high school and get a job, they add that money towards your rent, so your rent go higher and higher. So like I said, I'm on a housing board, and my thing is like the Congress, they have to do something like to make a ceiling, like a cap or something, that when a kid get out of high school, their money shouldn't go straight to the head of household rent, and then they got rent control that people like, for instance, in Hartsdale, they got rent control. And they've been paying like $700. And they making $300,000-$400,000. Then you got somewhere in the housing authority right over here, they paying, if the market price is it's $2,600, and they probably making $50,000 a year or $60,000 a year. So they have to do something. I think that's what Congress. So, and just real quickly, that the town of Greenburgh need to do more of supporting affordable housing.
Right, I completely agree with you. Okay, Josh. This year marks the 250 years of our independence, but still we see obscene graffitis in railway stations, buildings, parks, parking lots, etc. Are we actually independent or still a victim of social and mental abuse? What is your message for peace, which our country deserves the most at this moment, even after 250 years?
Yeah. Sorry, would you mind just repeating the end of that again?
Sure.
Yeah.
So my question was that what is your message for peace, which our country deserves the most at this moment, even after 250 years?
Yeah, so I'll address the first part of that first, which is that I don't think we're free of the evils of racism and anti-Semitism. I can't click on something on social media that mentions Jews or Israel without finding anti-Semitic comments. I know to a certainty if I click on it, I'm going to see several. And anti-Semitism grows and develops. There are new symbols online that get used to try to get around content moderation, like using a juice box emoji instead of saying Jews or other symbols. And in the synagogue where I'm a rabbi, we have big iron gates and full-time security. And that's the norm at most synagogues. Any synagogue that can afford to have that usually has it. The one I grew up at has it. So I would say in my lifetime, actually, I would say anti-Semitism, I think, has actually gotten a bit worse, perhaps even significantly worse, unfortunately. In terms of a message for peace, I think the answer is to do things like this, and to, I grew up going to a regular public school, and I met people of different backgrounds, and that was really foundational in shaping who I am and how I relate to people of diverse backgrounds. And I think just creating more and more opportunity for people to learn about one another, learn their history. I remember very soon after I started, Reverend Trollinger from Calvary Baptist started organizing these Coalition of Hope meetings, and I got to know a lot of people from White Plains, not just White Plains, Greenburgh, surrounding areas, Black community, and I learned about their history. I learned about, Bethel just had, I think it's 150th anniversary within the last year or two. There's a really beautiful, rich history there, and I could have worked here I've been here for 2.5 years. If I didn't go to those meetings, I would have never learned about that. And I've met some folks from the Islamic Center in White Plains, and I knew that they were getting a new building built. And by having those relationships, you get to have a bigger sense of what's going on around you. And when we don't create images in our head that are rooted in our own fears about other groups and other people, and we were actually confronted with the reality of who most people really are, I think peace becomes somewhat inevitable.
Right. Very well said. Okay, Saleem. This year marks the 250 years of US's independence, but still we hear severe accusations on Islam and its rapid growth. Are we actually independent or still a victim of social and mental abuse? What is your message for peace, which our country deserves the most right now?
I came here in this country as an immigrant. And the thing that attracted me the most was this is a country which is unlike any other country in the world.
It's very welcoming.
It is based on a concept that was given by the forefathers of this country who wrote the Constitution. That is the recognizing the individual's right and to have any kind of religion they want to have. The pursuit of happiness, they will be given there's a law that will governing their life, and there will be a justice. So those are the things that attracted me. It's a beacon of hope that I had in my heart, that I come here and we will, like anybody else, we will be recognized as a person, not because a label that you are a different kind of race, you have a different religion. We thought that we would be treated like anybody else in this country. We're seeing that the things are kind of changing, unfortunately, for this country. I think that basically it is the duty of the politicians, the duty of the religious communities to create the harmony and also give the message of hope and unity of all the people who are living. We are under the same tent. We are in the same boat. So unless and until we have a harmony, we will not have a direction and sense of direction where we want to go, which we want to achieve, and we must, because those things that are written in the Constitution of America, we haven't achieved them yet. But gradually we hope that we will achieve it, but we cannot achieve it unless we have a unity of all the faiths, all the races that are living in this country.
I hear you. Okay, Clifton. Both anti-Semitism and Islamophobia are widely recognized as violations of human rights because they often target people on the basis of a protected characteristic religion and lead to discrimination, exclusion, and violence. How can a balance be brought and a peace message be conveyed between anti-Semitism and Islamophobia? How can the Christian communities bridge between these differences and harmonize?
You know, as I stated earlier, that I understand how y'all feel about America. You know, because y'all came on your own free will. Y'all came over here, they let you keep everything that y'all keep your culture. It's a whole different ball game. Even though I'm a believer, you know, and Luke 17:21 to say that the kingdom of heaven is inside of you, you know. And I grew up with Lee Challenger, you know, and the whole thing is that America's talking about anti-Semitic and the hate of
Islamophobia.
But we've been getting this since for 400 years. They don't even mention it. You know, it was funny. Like because of us, it was civil rights, right? And now when it comes to civil rights, they don't even mention blacks. They mention LGBTQs. They mention women. They mention everything. You know, and we got the blunt of all of the hatred and all of the racism, and we are the one that shed the blood for civil rights. Because of us, that made it easy for everybody else. And now when they speak on it, they don't even mention us.
Right. Okay, so great panel discussion. I really appreciate you guys, and I'm looking forward to a very good closing statement, a very brief closing statement, starting from Mr. Abrams.
Well, I just believe that, you know, religions separate us. There's one God. If we believe in really one God, then, you know, we all coming through the whole, we all are as one. But I think religion separate us.
Okay, Saleem.
Well, taking up on the question that you raised, that religion divides us, I think we are not following the religions. If we do follow the religions, it will not divide us, it will unite us. It is our misunderstanding about the religion that we just think, I am the perfect and you are not. If it is change that concept within ourselves, I think everything will change. I think that's what we have to do, promote it from the pulpit, in the synagogue, in the mosque, and in the church, so that this can be brought to the understanding of all the people that if we want to be respected, we got to respect others.
Great.
Yeah.
Josh, closing
Of course, yeah.
statement.
So I would close with a teaching from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who teaches that great is peace because all blessings flow from peace. Before we can have anything else good in our lives, families, homes, children, food to eat, peace is a prerequisite for all of that. And he teaches that from the book of Psalms, that God gives God's people strength and blesses them with peace. You need strength in order to achieve peace, and all good blessings come from peace.
Okay, so I would like to convey my sincere thankfulness to the panelists. They are accomplished, diligent, focused, wise, confident, experienced, and are well known for their services, initiatives, and performances. Thanks to Rabbi Bender, Dr. Meir, and Mr. Abrams for their valuable and informative responses. Great panel discussion conveys the moral of the story as harmony, peace, understanding, being inevitable for a better world where we can live happily ever after as one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Once again, a very happy 250th birthday to United States of America. See you all next month with a new episode and panelists. Now, before I leave, I want to mention about 100 years of America's heartthrob heroine, singer, performer, and fashion icon, Marilyn Monroe, who completed 100 years, and she is still alive in our fantasy. She was born in 1926, and this is 2026, which marks the 100 years of Marilyn Monroe. And I want to finish the panel with a famous birthday wish that Marilyn Monroe did to John F. Kennedy, our president. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.